Okay, so I'm super glad to be back from spring break, and we're going to start off our first lesson with dividing fractions. Our learning target is I can divide fractions. You should be able to multiply, divide, add, and subtract by the end of this. Okay, so dividing fractions is fairly simple like multiplying. However, you cannot actually divide a fraction. You have to multiply it. So there are three simple steps you have to take to be able to multiply it, and then you'll be ready to divide fractions. So first step says keep this first fraction the same. So I have 5/7 divided by 3/4. We actually need to turn this into a multiplication problem. So I'm going to keep, okay, I'm going to, it says flip the second fraction so the numerator and denominator switch places. So if we flip the fraction, we have to flip the sign. The opposite sign of division is multiplication. So I'm going to put that sign in the middle. And then I'm going to flip. See how I have 3 as my numerator and 4 as my denominator? I'm going to put the 4 on top and the 3 on bottom. So here, I'll show you how I do that. 4/3. Whoops. There's my 3. So now I can actually do my multiplication. And now you know multiplication is you multiply straight across for the numerator and straight across for the denominator. Okay, so now we flipped our fraction and we can actually multiply. So again, you just multiply straight across for the numerator and straight across for the denominator. So 5 times 4 is 20, and 7 times 3 is 21. All right, so it says multiply and simplify if necessary. If you notice, a lot of times what will happen is when you flip your second fraction, the numerator will now be larger than the denominator. So you will have to change that into a mixed number, which you should know how to do by dividing. When you simplify something, you have to find a number they have in common. So if we were to actually simplify 20/21s, we're going to, in the next step, we will see if we are actually able to simplify it and try to go from there. Okay, so if I don't know if this can be simplified, what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the factors. And I'm looking for the GCF, the greatest common factor of 20 and 21. If you've noticed, I already have written this down, trying to go a little faster. So the factors of 20, and remember, it's not the count bys, but what numbers can multiply to equal 20. So I have 1 and 20, 2 and 10, and 4 and 5. For 21, I have 1 and 21, and 3 and 7. So there are no numbers they have in common. Therefore, this fraction is in its simplest form. We're going to do a couple more together, and I'm going to send you on your way. Okay, so they're a little bit easier way to think about dividing fractions is this. Please get out your whiteboard and follow along with me. First, you want to keep the first fraction, flip the sign in the second, and then multiply straight across. So I'm looking at 3/4 divided by 1/2. If you're going ahead of me, that's fine. See if you get the same answer. I have 3/4, so I'm going to keep it, give myself a check mark, flip the sign, which is multiplication, and flip the fraction. So I have 1. I need to make 2 check marks here. I'm going to make this 2/1. Okay, I kept the first one, flipped the sign and the second, and now I have to multiply. So 3 times 2 is 6, and 4 times 1 is 4. So now I'm going to have to change that fraction. I'm going to show you how to do that next. Okay, 6/4 is an improper fraction because the numerator's larger than the denominator. So we have to change that. If you can see, this sign right here also means divide. So I'm actually going to divide 6 divided by 4. Okay, 4 goes into 6 one time. 1 times 4 is 6. 6 minus 4 is 2. I have nothing else to bring down. My numerator comes to the top to now replace, or my 2 comes to the top to be the numerator. And the denominator stays the same. Oh, I'm trying to make my line. And that would be 4. If you notice, right here, my 4 is on the outside, my 4 is down here. That never changes. So you should never get that one confused with any other number. So I have 1 and 2/4 is my answer. 2/4 can also be simplified, but we're just going to stop there for this one. Okay, so make sure you have your whiteboards out. You're going to try these two. And I'm going to go ahead and do them as you do them, or you can go ahead and do them and see if you got the right answer. 4/5 divided by 5/6. You are going to keep, flip, and multiply. So when you do that, you can write it on the side if you want. You could even just write a K, F, and M. Okay, so I have 4/5 times, flip, flip, and 5 goes on the bottom. So now I can multiply. I have 4 times 6 is 24. And 5 times 5 is 25. So I have 24/25. That should be your answer. Now I'm going to try 1/2 divided by 3/4. I'm going to bring this onto the next page. Okay, so 1/2 divided by 3/4. I'm going to keep 1/2, flip my sign, flip my fraction, and then I'm going to multiply. 1 times 4 is 4, and 2 times 3 is 6. I know that 4 and 6 are both even numbers, so automatically I know if they are both even, this can be simplified, and they're going to have a factor that's in common. So what numbers can multiply to equal 4? Well, 1 and 4, and 2 times 2. You only have to write 2 once. How about the factors of 6? 1, 2, 3, and 6. What is the one that is the greatest they have in common? I see 2, so I'm going to divide 4 by 2 and 6 by 2. Now I have 4 divided by 2 is 2, and 6 divided by 2 is 3. So my answer is 2/3. Okay, please go back onto the website to get your assignment for the day. Hope this has helped. If you need extra help, I'll be calling you to my table with your whiteboard and marker. Thanks. See you soon.